And here we are in the brand new Hyundai Texans radio studio. Coach, welcome to the season. And here we are. First of all, what do you make of the new digs?
Welcome. Looking nice, man. You guys outdone yourself with the place. Really nice setup.
Well, here we are week one. Take us through how you're feeling coming out of camp, the guys off their feet for a few days, jumping back into practice, getting ready for the Rams.
And I'm feeling recharged, refreshed. Was able to take a weekend off, just hang around the house, be dad for a little bit, watch some college football. So I'm recharged. I'm ready to roll for the season. I'm fired up. As you can tell, I'm fired up, man, to get ready to go out to L.A. and go against the Rams.
Coach, training camp, we went to the Greenbrier, then we went to Detroit. We got out of the heat for a little bit. How important was it to break things up a little bit, but then have those two traveling opportunities where guys could be together, like you talked about it last year when we went to Ohio, having those opportunities for camaraderie, chemistry, et cetera. How did, looking back, how did you see that came to be for the team, and how was that?
It was huge for our team when it came to team building and building that chemistry, camaraderie, and that's what I set out to do. I feel like when you get away, we're in West Virginia, you don't have anywhere to go, nobody's getting in a car going anywhere. You have to sit down, force guys to eat together, communicate, talk together, play cards. Guys just start to hang around each other more. Yep. And when you start to hang around each other more, you try to ask guys, hey, what's your why? Why do you do what you do? What's your family background? And so when you get to know more your teammates on a more personal level, more deeper connection that you can build with guys. So when we go through those rough patches in the season, it brings you back to that moment where you remember, oh, I know what this guy is fighting for. I know what he's sacrificing to be here. I know what this means to him. I probably got to dig a little bit deeper because of the man next to me, not just getting out of myself and what I'm trying to accomplish. I can truly do this for my teammates.
Coach, during training camp, the fans saw a lot of iron sharpens iron, ones against ones, Texans against Texans. What can you tell the fans about how practice is different now that you're in game week mode?
Practice should gear down a little bit. So now as we're in game week mode, now there are no ones versus ones a lot. We'll do competitive periods where we may have 3 reps where it's good on good for Wednesday and Thursday's practices. After that, we break practice up where we have a scout team period where we have guys who are really practice squad guys or guys that have been in our second group throughout training camp. Those guys will run what we call the cards or the show team. So the coaches will hold up a card of a play, offense or defense, and those guys have to run that particular card versus our first defense and first offense, making sure we get as detailed a look as possible as we think our opponent will run. We try to put guys in those positions where they see the exact plays as many times as they can. We replicate it in our offense. Well, if we can, we'll try to put the play in their terminology where they can line up and go faster. Same for the defense. Put it in our terminology so guys can line up and play fast. So we want our guys, how many times can we give our 1-0, 1D the exact look that we feel the opponent is going to give us and how they try to attack us.
Coach, what do you remember about your first game as a player, as a rookie, that you learned from that you can share with your young guys going out on NFL regular season game for the first time? What is it that you remember from your first game that you can share with them maybe?
Yeah, my first game, I would say, I remember my first preseason game. It was versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and we played right here in NRG Stadium, and I just remember just telling myself, like, man, don't overthink because it can be overwhelming. That moment hits you. It's like, man, I'm putting on NFL uniform. I'm on an NFL team, and those butterflies start to rumble in your stomach a little bit. And I just remember reminding myself, like, Miko, it's just football. Like, just go play. Probably going to mess some stuff up. It doesn't matter, but go play fast, go play hard, go make some plays. And in that preseason game, my first game, I remember making probably about 6 or 8 tackles. Yeah. And they took me out of the game. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm good. Maybe I can become a starter for this team. And that's the one thing I try to encourage rookies is it's easy to, like, overthink it and allow that moment to become too big for you. But, man, you just break it all down. Hey, you've been playing football for a long time. Just remember why you play the game, who you're playing it for, what's your reason, what's your why, and go play with passion. All right, you play with passion. You do what your coaches have been training you on doing for the past couple months. You're going to make the plays you're supposed to make. Don't press to make plays. Yep. Just relax, be where you're supposed to be, and you're going to make the plays that you need to make.
Yep. And you won that game against the Chiefs, by the way. I remember that. Yes. Coach, without giving away strategy secrets here, how much have we seen of the 2025 Texans, how you're going to look offensively and defensively? We've seen the defense before, and it's looked really good. Right. Now with the Nick Caley offense, what surprises? Well, you don't have to reveal exactly what, but how different could it look once we get to the game?
Well, when you get to the game week, right, there is so much preparation that goes into it, so many wrinkles with the play. So throughout training camp and OTAs, you're really just establishing your base plays, your just fundamental staples of the offense and defense, just where you can teach guys, hey, this is how we're going to show a double team block. This is how we're going to play a cover 3 defense. And now we get the opportunity to really game plan and go against opponents. Well, hey, we got to put a wrinkle on this route. We got to add in a new run concept. And so you just go back and you draw from things you've taught in training camp. Like, hey, remember we ran this gap scheme play. Hey, we're going to do it this week, but we're going to do it a little different. We're going to put the receiver on a little motion, or we're going to put the tight end on a fast motion and try to put a little window dressing to it. But, hey, we're running that same play we taught in OTA 3. And so you just draw from all the fundamentals, the techniques from training camp OTAs, and you put as many wrinkles in it as possible so the defense are always on their toes. They're always kind of guessing, and they don't know exactly what you're doing.
Speaking of being on your toes, week 1's always fascinating to me. It sometimes happens in week 2 and week 3, but by then you've established tendencies. You get unscouted looks and making the adjustments, whether it's offense, defense, special teams. Hey, that's not something we saw from them. Coach, how important is to take those non-scripted looks, get on the sidelines, look at the pictures, and go, okay, wait a second, we got to make an adjustment here. We can't let this go any further. If we see this again, we do this. How important is it making those adjustments early on to non-scripted looks you might see?
Yeah, it's very important, especially the first game. You can try to look at past games all you want to, but the first game is teams can throw out all kind of plays, all kind of wrinkles. So, yeah, you got to be ready to adjust. You got to be ready to see how our team's trying to attack you strategically, offensively, and defensively, and you have to be ready to counter. So what's your counter move? Right. And you have to be thinking about that in advance so guys are prepared for whatever you call. But the one thing about first games is you don't know what people are going to do.
That's right.
I can sit here, I'm watching the Rams, watching a lot of old tape of the Rams. None of their guys have played in the preseason, so they add Devontae Adams to the mix. How are they using him? Where will they align him? I have no idea. So you had to go out and make sure just we play as sound as possible on the defensive side of the football. And offense, you have an idea of what their structure will be from their coordinator's pass and how he's gone against this scheme. But now, who knows? They're going to try to throw some wrinkles to try to create some negative plays. Same thing with their offense. They're going to try to throw some wrinkles to create some explosives. So how can you really survive those plays? And you're going to survive it by falling back on your fundamentals, your training, all the reps you got in training camp. When you weren't scouting, you didn't know what was coming. Did you just trust your rules? And did your rules hold up? And did they allow you to be in the position you needed to be in?
All right, it's your 3rd season. We have yet to have an opening game at home in your head coaching career. On the road again. First 2 times were East Coast time zone games. Now you're going to the West Coast. How does that affect you, if at all?
Yeah, it affects us from a standpoint of it's just an entirely different, call it biological clock or whatever. So now we're 2 hours early. So for us, strategy being let's get out early. So we'll leave earlier than normal. We'll leave on Friday going out to L.A. to try to get guys on that Pacific time. So hopefully by the time the game comes, guys are ready to roll, and they're not feeling groggy. They're not feeling off from a timing standpoint. So I want to make sure our guys are as prepared as possible for this time zone change.
My daughter would like to thank you because she gets her father out there a day earlier. So my daughter says thank you.
You're welcome.
But, along the lines of facing the Rams, you faced the Rams before, but it was a few years ago. There are some parts that are still the same. Can you draw anything from your experiences before going into now, Coach? Or is it, I got to look at the 2025 Rams with the new personnel and just go with what they've got?
Yeah, I do look back and I draw on my experiences with the Rams. Played against these guys a ton, two times a year. Actually played them 3 times in the play a couple. So seen him a lot. Sean, one thing I would say about him, he is constantly evolving. Yeah. Right, he's constantly changing things up, adding some different wrinkles. So you always have to be ready to adjust and adapt to Sean because it's never going to stay exactly the same. He has some core principles that he will stick to, but he has a lot of nice plays that I look like, wow, man, how did he think of that? So definitely get enamored with some of the things that he does and have a ton of respect for him and how he runs his program. Great coach, very detailed, high energy, and their guys are going to be ready to roll. Yep.
All right, the Amegy Bank Ask Coach question of the week. Coach, week 1, fall is here. It's September. We need a DeMeco Ryan's family sports update. What are the kids up to? What are they playing? Where are we at right now?
Family update. Well, my oldest, MJ, he's playing football for the first time. So he's middle school football.
Wow.
Actually has his first game on tomorrow.
Yeah.
First game tomorrow. Yeah. So looking forward to hopefully going and be able to check him out. He's playing safety and playing a little wide receiver as well. So I'm excited to see him, catch a few passes, hopefully make some big plays on defense as well. But it's always cool to see as your kids grow and how they kind of come into their own, right? Mm-hmm. He really enjoys football. He has a passion for it. So I'm excited to see him just do what they love doing. My daughter, Zia, she's into gymnastics. So she's doing the gymnastics thing. And then my youngest, Micah, he's loving some basketball right now, tossing the football around, get him in football. But I think he's going to be a quarterback. He has a nice little arm on him for a 6-year-old. Yes.
Very good.
So more anxious as a player, as a coach, or as a father watching your kids play?
Oh, definitely a father.
Yeah.
Trying not to be Coach Miko too much and trying to be dad, but it's so hard for me not to coach. I just have to really hold back as much as possible.
Yeah. I know what's most stressful, though, gymnastics competition over everything else. Watching that stuff, wow, that's
very
just
stressful.
Major stress. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck this week.
Thank you, guys.